Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fan. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. We are Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You got questions, he's got answers. Old man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline. The growth is coming in. It's crazy. And coming to us live from the Big Apple, from Hell's Kitchen, the beige devil of Hell's Kitchen himself, Coke Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer. Together we are known as the Midnight Boys. Okay. Follow us on socials. Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Everybody's calling it X more now.
Nobody's doing that. Don't do that.
I don't care.
Right, no one's doing that.
That's cool.
No one's doing that.
Jomi, socials?
Social doing great. I was going to come here and talk about how, that Invincible clip went crazy and how on our interview with Jack Quaid, the one where I said season 6, trying to get him to prompt a Lower Decks answer, went into The Boys, and that was going crazy. People were like, he doesn't know the seasons. Socials are going great, but you got some social happening to you today on the socials.
A lot of socials.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, Kanye went at you?
Yeah, again. He
called me. Jay probably already got a hit out on him after that last tweet, so it'll be fine.
He called me the N-word and the F-word in the same
good.
one. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Nazis, they're not supposed to like me. I'm anti-Nazi. This is the Midnight Boys. Shout out to our sign. Shout out to, once again, shout out to Aleya. Give Aleya shit. But Aleya's like the maestro of the Midnight Boys. That sign is fire.
Yeah.
And what we could do, we could also put a no Nazi sign up there. Because this is an anti-Nazi. So if you're a Nazi, you're not supposed to like me. Kanye West, fuck you. I'm not supposed to be liked by Nazis. More about this on Friday on Higher Learning. We're on YouTube. Oh, Jomi, did you have anything else to say about socials? You said that you gave Jack Quaid a hug?
No, I was trying to prompt him on an answer for season 6 on Lower Decks. I was trying to bait him.
All right, let's get to the show.
Hey, you got to sneak it in when you can.
Hey. First of all, don't be hating because you ain't like us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You ain't got it like us, Chuck. Don't be mad at us.
Like us.
Feel me?
Wow.
You're not like us. It's cool.
This why I'm not coming back to LA, bro. Man. I don't get love. Like I'm staying. My black ass staying in New York.
There you go. Good for you. The Mid Boys are drunk with power, Chuck.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everyone here is drunk with power. The Mid Boys are drunk with power. You know who's not drunk with power?
Who?
Me.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Man, stop.
Sober?
Cat.
How many years sober?
Aleya is drunk with power. The Mid Boys are drunk with power.
Yeah.
Where's Kerm? Ooh, y'all, Kerm sold me the fuck out last week on the Black TV podcast so bad.
Wait, what did I do?
Hold on.
Kerm, fight back. What did I do?
Kerm,
Fight back. What did I
my
do?
God.
What
Let me
did
tell
he do?
y'all something real quick. We had an interview scheduled with Hillary Banks.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
She did the
my
podcast. We got
faves.
somebody coming up.
That's great.
I get here. I'm doing Higher Learning. We're gonna do the interview. Good interview with Hillary, wouldn't you say? With Karen Parsons.
Oh, yeah, it went great.
It went great. So I get here. I'm looking for a studio. Kerm hits me like, "Hey man, we're all on Zoom waiting." I'm like, "Kerm, where's the studio? I'm here in person. I need to be set up in the studio."
Uh-oh.
Kerm was at home. Kerm hates coming to work so much.
Why are we doing
Kerm,
this,
defend
yo?
yourself.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
I was on the Zoom.
Come
I had a
on,
great
bro.
conversation with Karen waiting for you. Don't do that.
That's what really was happening. Let me tell you what really was happening. Kerm did this on purpose so that he can have time to talk to Karen. This is
That's good.
Kerm,
That's
you
very
shoot your
plotting,
shot.
You guys.
We were just having a great conversation. She live in
Yeah, you
redacted.
guilty.
Don't want to say where she live now.
Yeah, don't tell people where she
I
live
used to
at.
live there. We had a conversation. That's all.
Next week, I want 2 crowns for the Mid Boys. I want somebody to bring in 2 crowns for the Mid Boys. Drunk with power. 2 crowns for the Mid Boys and a tiara for Aleya. Drunk with power. Okay, before we get to the show, should we put something, Aleya, should we put something else around this? This sign is good. Should we put some pictures up of Boba Fett or some dumbass shit?
So no Nazis, Boba Fett.
No Nazis. Is
We're
Boba
not
Fett a
putting
Nazi?
Boba Fett.
No.
We could get somebody cooler than
We
Boba
can
Fett,
put
bro.
Luke or Darth Vader on there.
Luke, Darth Vader.
You know,
No, it should be
some
all
Marvel.
black heroes. You know what I'm saying?
All black
Civil
heroes.
rights,
Black hero of the
superhero,
week.
every.
Yeah,
Black
Put
hero of the
Jordy
week.
up there.
Jordy LaForge,
Put Jordy up
Jordy
there.
up there.
Jordy
Jordy
up
Sale.
there. Yeah.
All right.
Blade, both of them.
Both blades.
Both
Yep.
of them.
3 blades.
3 blades.
3, yes.
Cause sticky
Hell yeah.
fingers.
Oh, right. It's like Gillette.
Don't leave sticky fingers out of that. We're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Listen, here's the thing. Watch it on YouTube because you can't see the sign if you're not watching it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The sign, they put a lot of
Or
work
Spotify.
into it.
Don't
Or
get us in trouble,
Spotify.
Van. Or Spotify.
You can watch it on Spotify.
You can watch it on Spotify. So watch it on YouTube or Spotify so you can see this sign. We have to go through a whole process to get this sign. Nothing's easy.
Nothing's easy.
You can watch every Midnight Boys and House of Art episode on youtube.com/@Ringreverse and also on Spotify, like we just said. Reminders. On Thursday, House of R continues their Daredevil Born Again coverage. On Friday, Mid Edition is back with their thoughts. The two kings are their thoughts on Harley Quinn, the season finale, and the new Looney Tunes movie.
Correct.
I had trouble getting through that read. On Monday, the Midnight Boys are giving you an extra episode where they break down the season finale of Severance.
Yo.
But on today's show, we're going to give you our instant reactions to the 3rd episode of Daredevil Born Again. I like Succession, but it's not like, oh, before we get into Daredevil Born Again, I'm really into White Lotus now.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, are you
mainlined
caught
it.
up? Are you caught
I'm
up
all
on
caught
the last
up.
episode?
I'm all caught up in the
So
last episode.
you did season 1, season 2.
Season 1. I did season
How
2.
you liking season 3?
Season 3
My
is
boy
great.
Sam Rockwell's
Season
back.
3 was I wouldn't say up and down, but it was moving along at not a glacial pace, but a very deliberate pace. But last episode really picked things up.
Oh, man.
Sam Rockwell.
Everybody
came out
got
of
their
nowhere.
Achilles heel. I'm like, dog.
Hey,
It's
I mean,
the greatest monologue ever.
The monologue was so crazy that nobody's talking about how Carrie Coon got snaked by her girl, bruh. That was some
That
of
was
the most
devious.
flagrant,
Yeah.
Vicious.
nasty stuff I've
Treacherous.
ever seen, man.
I will say something about the Carrie Coon getting snaked by a girl thing, though. I will say this. She only kind of got snaked.
Nah.
at the end of the night, she was
Nah.
fine. She was like, hey, whatever, we had a good night.
Nah.
I'll tell you about this. I'll tell you why she only kind of got snaked for 2 reasons. Number 1, vacation flips like that, nobody got like a
Dibs?
claim to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation
fluid.
flips.
Nah, but Jacqueline spent the whole trip like, you should get with Mans. You should go with Valentine. She kept pushing her that way.
She did. And then she
It
And
really
then-
matters when they talk at breakfast.
And then
what
she
they say after.
probably has been doing that to her whole life.
Probably.
That's the thing. Probably like soaking up her light and stuff. Chuck, are you watching?
Hell yeah. Last episode, I'm with you. It was very glacial, and we hit the gas. But honestly, they was talking mad shit about Carrie.
Yeah,
like
they were.
all season, they like, damn, she looked busted, blah, blah,
She
blah,
looked
blah,
the
blah.
best.
Absolutely not.
She
That's
looked-
Proxima Midnight.
She looked the best to me.
The
Yeah.
disrespect was
That's why I think they
crazy.
were hating.
Hating.
They knew she looked the best, and they like, we got to bring her down to size.
Leslie Bibb, Republican and everything, but at the same time, when she was like, I do want to go to sleep, y'all are a little wild.
She's just like me for real.
you know what I
She's
mean?
just
Like
like me for
sometimes
real.
kind of like
Hell nah.
it's 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Y'all still bumping this music, man.
Yeah.
We got work at 8. Let's wrap this thing up.
Carrie Coon got an interesting name. What
All
so
right.
here's the thing though, before we get off of White Lotus, I asked this question on Twitter. Have you guys ever been in a situation like that? Where your homeboy is downloading you on some shit and it goes way left than you thought it was gonna go?
Yeah,
You been in that situation?
No comment.
You been in that situation?
absolutely.
No comment.
Charles?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell my story real quick.
All right.
Oh, God.
I'm sitting down talking to one of my homies one time.
Hello, Ringiverse fans. I regret to inform you that due to the initiation of Deep Shadow Protocol, this bit had to be edited out of the pod. I know, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Thanks as always for listening, and the Midnight Boys, pew pew, we'll get back to you shortly.
We can go
Actually,
in
you know
jail.
what? Wait a minute. That's probably an open case.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Nah, take all of that out. I'm serious. Take all of that
That's
out.
an open.
I told him I was gonna tell the story. But
wait. Deep
That's
shadow
Deep
that
Shadow
whole
Protocol.
conversation.
yeah.
And then just
Deep
be like,
shadow
oh
that
wait, I
whole
think that's an
thing.
open case.
Right.
Is that the first time we've done a Deep Shadow Protocol? That's probably an open case.
Yeah, that's
That's
probably an open
absolutely
case.
needed to
Yeah,
be.
we
Because if you hear that,
It was funny, but then people start connecting dots.
Yeah,
No,
Like
yeah.
YNW
To
Melly
bring it
out here.
back-
You can't have that.
To bring it back to the show, it'd be crazy if Matt Murdock showed up at our trial and be like, and now it's
Roll
time
the
for the
tape.
midnight.
Man, what are we doing? What are we doing? Listen, man, spoiler warning for Daredevil, man. We're getting ready to talk about
Daredevil Born Again.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, to begin our reactions, we have to put you in the know. The only person who can do that is Chuck Wagon. The only way to do that is the Midnight Manifest.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for Daredevil Born Again. This episode is directed by Jeffrey Nachmanoff, written by David Feige and Jesse Owigato. Matt meets Hector's niece, Angela, at the morgue. The young girl and potential next White Tiger wants answers about her uncle's death, and the cops roll in it. While lit off tequila and ketamine at the club, Daniel Blake lets his guard down around BB, a mistake that results in a piece about Kingpin being anti-union. To make matters worse, Fisk and Angela are still struggling in couples counseling. Matt takes on the case of Leroy Bradford, a man accused of stealing popcorn from a bodega. Leroy gives a very impassioned speech about the failings of the criminal justice system and how he just wants some damn dessert. Feeling guilty, Matt goes to the crime scene of Hector's death and finds a bullet with the Punisher symbol on it. Matt locates Frank Castle's new hideout, and the two frenemies squabble about the role of vigilantes. After a long day, Matt and Fisk end up in similar positions, with the lawyer's billy club speaking to him like the Green Goblin mask, and the mayor eating some sausages and pasta in front of his wife's imprisoned former lover. And that has been your manifest for Daredevil Born Again. Van, I'll start with you. Finally, the Punisher is back. How are you feeling about episode 4?
So that was a great scene, and the episode was good. But I will say something about this episode. And I'm going to sound like Charles a little bit here. This episode for me was like watching English Premier League soccer.
Okay.
Land
Elaborate.
explain.
Oh my God.
So I don't have a team. So when I watch it,
Uh-huh.
I'm entertained,
Okay.
but I don't really care.
You're just looking at it like objectively.
I'm watching it. I'm entertained. I'm entertained by what's happening, but I don't know enough about English Premier League soccer. I don't have an Arsenal kit or a Chelsea kit. I don't know the players as well,
Mhm.
besides maybe 10 international guys. So I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is a lot of fun. And I can see why it's fun. I can see the people are into it. The sport is beautiful. It's not boring.
Yeah.
It's good, but I don't care. Like the guy with the fiddle faddle corn, I'm like, where are we going with
Fiddle
this?
faddle corn was
Like,
very
I literally,
That was crazy.
the guy with the fiddle faddle corn, I was like, what does this have to do with anything? I kept waiting for the fiddle faddle corn guy to be like a mutant.
Uh-huh.
Like
when he asked about scrolls, I was like,
or
kinda like,
something. I kept waiting for the fiddle faddle corn. And I guess it's supposed to be more meaningful to the guy going out. And I guess Fisk has his new Wesley, right? Because the guy was so loyal and so brave. That's a very important scene and all of that. I don't know. The show is good. And this was a good episode. Particularly the Punisher stuff was fantastic. I don't know if the show is doing a good enough job of stringing together the dramatic tension enough for there to be this little Daredevil in the show.
I kind of softly disagree. I think that the show is definitely entertaining enough and compelling enough to be watched with very little action, because that was kind of the highlight of the Netflix show, where like a lot of things happened without Matt being in the costume for us to be compelled by.
Pause real quick. That's true.
Yeah.
But the Netflix show had deep mystery into it,
for sure.
deep intrigue into it. It was doing those things really well in terms of Roxxon and all of that different stuff and Karen's storyline. If this show, you guys, is missing Foggy and Karen, guys.
It definitely is.
It
absolutely is.
I mean, I'm not saying that Daredevil is whack. I'm not saying that at all. This show is missing Foggy and Karen. It is.
I think to extend your Premier League metaphor, when you have Punisher and Matt on screen together, it's kind of like watching Liverpool versus Man City, like these two big clubs going head to head. That's always entertaining. Then you get scenes, at least for me, with like Wilson and Vanessa, and that's like watching, Man City versus Bournemouth. I'm like, all right, cool. What am I here for? Like, this really doesn't, that's not moving me. The scene with Matt and the fiddle faddle candy or cotton or popcorn guy, I'm like, okay, like I see the vision, but also like, what is this?
Going
does it have
back
to
and
do with
forth
everything?
about how much he needs to be in jail and all of that. I'm like, how is this going to turn out? Like, what is going to be the thing? And then I understand that him being put in jail led to the termination of his benefits, and it just puts. But at the same time, I'm watching that. I'm like, why are you still in the fiddle faddle? If it's
Wait, he's been in jail like 10 times.
It's like, well, like, huh?
What? Was he tripping? Because I was just like Matt got him a real good deal. He's like,
Sweetheart
I'm not
deal.
going back. I'm like, hey, bro, Matt's doing like the Lord's work for you. Like, I'm sorry, if you get caught stealing some fucking popcorn, you a fucking whole ass dumbass. Like, come on.
Bro,
Five boxes.
I understand.
Come on, bro.
I understand what he's saying. He just wants to have the feeling of something good, to eat something good.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get that. But you can't ask for probation and not to go to jail when you done stole 5 boxes of the fiddle
You already
faddle
did 30
from
days,
the bodega
yeah.
and you just got out. Like, the whole thing just didn't land with me. I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
I
And
think the bigger thing for me was, how does this help Matt? Like, what does this? Because it's a one thing if like he takes that and then goes, you know what? Maybe I have to do better. I have to learn something from this. And I didn't feel that when that happened.
And I think that this is probably what the show is attempting to do and like is kind of nailing it or kind of working. And this is more of a thematic exercise. Obviously, when contrasted with Fisk and Matt, they're working within systems that are like
Right.
supposed to be making them better men and working to the decency that they kind of aspire to be. Fisk is trying to get all the things that he wants done, but there's like layers upon layers of bureaucracy that are stopping him, along with the things that are in his marriage where he can't openly admit to the fact that he's kind of the same person while adapting to change. Like he'll deflect and put things on Vanessa, or he'll like make things less about himself and more about the things that are pushing against him. The accountability isn't there. Whereas Matt is like, okay, I'm doing literally everything I can for this guy to get the bare minimum of time that he could possibly get. Sweet talking every lawyer that's around him, which by the way, that was like kind of awesome. Like the chemistry that he had with that one
it
lawyer.
went on too long.
He's
Sorry.
such a slut, though. Matt Murdock.
I mean,
is
but it
a
was
fucking
too
slow, bro.
easy.
Yeah.
It was
You know
too
what
easy.
I mean? It's too easy
But
for him,
yeah.
bro.
Well-
Like that was just like
Yeah.
pull up Hezzy Jimbo from KD, brother. Like every shot is light.
Yeah.
He gets in there. Oh yeah,
Fiddle
I smell
foul.
that honey cake on you. Lafayette Independence
Honey
Day.
cake is
Yeah.
crazy.
Honey
I
cake's
was
nuts.
like,
The
whoa.
honey
But
cake was
long
crazy.
story long, it's the fact that like Matt's clearly at his wit's end, both with losing Hector, overall thinking about Foggy, and he still can't even get this one guy off the street for too long without having to be pushed up against something that's going to be
But
weighing him down.
I
Yeah,
get
but why
it.
does
So
that
And it's
make
a
him?
bit inert.
I
It is
know.
a bit inert.
No, I know. I understand.
Yeah.
Matt is feeling constrained by the system.
Mhm.
So then he's going to work outside of the system. I get it. Even in the end, the conversation with the Punisher is supposed to be the thing that pushes him over the line in terms of like what he's going to do. This is what I would say. Foggy should have been in the show more than one episode. We should have gotten to know Foggy for 2 episodes, and then Foggy dies in 3 or 4, or Foggy dies at the end of this 9-episode arc. And the reason why I say that is because they're asking us to do a lot of work to remember Foggy.
Mhm.
And when Matt breaks down at the end of it, we just haven't been reinitiated with Foggy enough for that scene to hit the way that it
I
does.
think you're supposed to just be like, man, remember those 3 seasons on Netflix?
You're
And,
right.
and
You're
that's the
not
thing.
wrong.
Like, and we're the people that do remember those 3 seasons on Netflix.
Charles,
And
are you planning a podcast today or what? Are you gonna say something?
I'm not trying to fucking interrupt y'all. We're fucking cooking.
Charles,
God
get
damn.
off the fucking fiddle faddle. Did you watch the episode?
I did. I was damn. Y'all were here. I do agree with Van. Part of I think the issue is for them to tell a compelling story about the system, they need to care about more of the people in their stories. Like when Hector's niece comes in, they don't do enough to really set up the character. It's just another plot point for Matt Murdock to be like, the system doesn't work. And then the fiddle faddle man, I'm like, we didn't even, unless I'm misremembering it, we just see him on the corner. We don't
Yeah.
actually see any of his life. Everything is just being told to us.
If
And
you-
it doesn't feel, it's not like The Wire. When you're watching The Wire, you go into the school, you go into the newspapers, you see the normal people that the system is crushing.
But The Wire also used to do this. And I don't want to compare the show to The Wire, but it's funny that you brought that up. The Wire would start off with the character that you have never seen before, that you have no idea who the character is.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea who the character is. and like, or Omar would just be looking or whatever. And then over the course of a couple of scenes, you start to see who that person is.
Cuddy, for example.
Cuddy, for
He just showed up one day, like getting out of prison. I was like, I've never seen this dude before.
And he's a slice of life, like a cornerstone of the show.
But then Cuddy goes to his grandmother's house. Then you see Cuddy is in the old suit trying to go visit his old flame. Then you see Cuddy trying to get the bag of dope. I'm not saying that they had time to do all of that with the Fiddle Faddle Man. I'm just saying that like that's supposed to mean something. And I don't think the show is doing a tremendous job of making those stakes really matter.
Right. It's very redemptive when we see Frank and Matt Cook together in like kind of wallowing in that guilt and kind of getting that like you're not here for redemption, you're here for my permission type of a conversation. Like that's a very weighty and a very good mirror to that conversation that they had in season 2 of the Netflix show when they were on the rooftop. All of that context aside, that in a vacuum kind of feels a little weightless. Yes, John Bernthal is incredibly intense and like made for this role, and he's incredible. But the show kind of feels like stitched together from something that like is not really connecting on a whole.
Maybe. Do we need to see Daredevil at this point? Because I feel like the show,
we're going to.
Like the show is like we're cooking so much that this show can survive with Matt being out of the suit, without Karen being there, without Foggy being there. Honestly, without a villain, we don't even see Muse until that, like the last little bit. And what is there for Matt to really fucking do?
And by the way,
fight the system.
We see Muse in the last little bit, but like I was watching with Kalika goes, well, who is that?
Exactly.
And that's fine to introduce, but shouldn't there be a sense of ominous danger that somebody is killing people and then painting with them? Shouldn't we see Muse, and we know who Muse is supposed to be, but shouldn't these 3 episodes have established beyond the one scene with the psychiatrist or with Matt's girlfriend, beyond that there is a serial killer in Hell's Kitchen who is killing people and people are scared and all of that stuff that the BB reports and all of that. Shouldn't people be talking about the fact that they're afraid to walk the streets at night because somebody is killing people? Like they're just giving us the character. And I'm not saying the show isn't good. I'm just saying that like the show is asking a lot of us. It's asking us to be like, you love these people, so just watch.
Exactly.
I mean, the show is correct in that when I was getting antsy, the minute Punisher shows up, I forget about it because I'm just like, I love these characters. There's a nostalgia factor. They're just not doing, I think, a good enough job really proving why I should trust Disney Plus's version of this. And I know that sounds so harsh, but it's like all of the good things about this show are leaning on the nostalgia of the Netflix show, which if that was the case, you shouldn't have done Daredevil Born Again. You should have just done a 4th season.
I think the Born Again part of it is what we're talking about. The Born Again part of it, look, I come from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, right? I knew a lot of people that were born again. And my father sometimes would be like, I think you still got a couple of more months left in your birth. He would be like, nah, you're not born again. You have about 7 months. I mean, you have about 6 months. My dad would say that to people all the time because they would come out and they would say, I'm a born again Christian. And then you'll see him throwing Hennessy bottles and doing all kinds of shit like that, going nuts. And my dad would be like, you're not quite born again yet. You had about 6 months. You had about 5 months. That's your 3rd trimester or whatever. And I think that this show is not quite rebirthing Daredevil.
I think that's the point, though, right? I think the show's literal, right? Born again, as in like Daredevil's coming back, born again. But both Fisk and Matt are trying to be born again, right? Matt not being Daredevil and Fisk trying to go clean. But we see at the end of the episode, they're both not quite there. Fisk got Adam locked up in a cage, crazy. And then Matt went out there and did it's out there practicing, you know?
So they're not born again.
They're not born again. They want to be, as much as they
I
want to be fixed.
So the name of the show should be Daredevil, Roe versus Wade.
Okay. Okay. No. Explain that one. That's insane, but explain it.
Because they're not born again.
All right.
Christ alive.
I apologize.
All right, going to Adam, I have to ask you this question.
I thought it was funny.
When his wife was like, hey, yo, my man had the hands, and she starts going in, I'm like, I would crash out too. I'd fucking crash
Yeah,
out.
no, that's
That was nuts.
that's a
I'm
nuts
about
thing
to
to
start
say in
talking about no
therapy.
man.
His
Man's
hands
like,
were soft.
fuck outta
All
here.
right, bro. All right, man. Yeah, nah.
That was crazy. She
Nah.
was reminiscing. You could see. She was like, have you ever been around a girl? She's like, just starts looking up. She was remembering him cracking that.
No. But
That could not be though. Y'all be safe out there.
No,
Not
yeah.
me.
But what do you think he was doing with the hands?
I don't need to know.
I mean, probably something
Oh, he was
sensual.
going to work.
Yeah, he was going to work.
He was all up
He's a
in the
painter,
plumbing.
right?
He's a painter, you know.
Oh, so he had skills.
Which,
with
by the way,
hands.
Brush.
great little Easter egg there with the white painting with the blood splatter on it.
Yeah, it was great.
That was
Yeah.
I was like, I like that a lot. That was
Yeah.
really, really good.
So Fisk has him in a lair
Yeah.
where and look, even Fisk eating the gigantic meal. Every other time we've seen him eat, he's been eating
Lean.
very
Yes,
responsibly.
yeah.
He's been eating whatever.
Noticed
He's
that
lost
too.
a lot of weight, but he's still got that appetite for violence and carnage. And he was eating them big ass glizzies, watching that guy.
It looked
Like,
delicious.
yeah.
It looked like a delicious meal.
Yeah, good red sauce, probably.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
He's used
And
to the
so
finer
he,
things.
he was like
Good
all of
wine,
that
too.
stuff. I get it, and I'm not saying it's not working, but I think there's that the show hasn't gotten to yet.
It's a weird kind of meta commentary. I'm like, you feel like there's another gear that the show could be in.
Yeah, it's
that
when
it's
they
just holding itself back
Put on the
from.
suit and start fighting people. Like that's what we're really talking about.
Maybe.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Because again, the show works the best when Matt is faced with his own hypocrisies
Mm.
and his mental state. Again, that scene with, I think we'll talk about it more in depth, that scene with Punisher and Matt, so important. He's like, I can smell the good off you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you're not doing enough to avenge Foggy, and yet here you are trying to make me look like the dummy. Nah, bro, that's not going to work. The same thing that happened in episode 1 with Fisk and Matt, the same thing that happened in this episode with Punisher and Matt. Once Matt is confronted with who he has to be in order to make things happen, and he shies away from that, is when the show is at its best. If it's not doing that, it kind of leaves a little bit to be desired.
Did they do a good enough job setting up Punisher? Because I think that scene was amazing. But I'm like, how does Matt know? Like, obviously he sees the bullet. How does he know where Frank Castle is? I guess Frank Castle is hunting down these police officers, but how long has he been doing that? How much does he know? It seems like Punisher's like, it's your job, Daredevil. And I'm like, motherfucker, they got your emblem on. What are you talking about?
I genuinely, like, as great as that scene was, it felt like it came out of nowhere because I'm like, oh, he's just like walking down into like a basement somewhere and we're like, I guess something's going to happen. I'm like, oh, he knows where Frank is and he's just chilling out. I don't think he really cares that much about the cops
Can I tell you guys
using his
something?
stuff.
Nobody in Marvel television history has been fucked over more than White Tiger. Matt fucking finished with White Tiger. He's
I
done.
mean, yeah.
like White Tiger got domed inside of
Come
his
on,
head.
man. He was
White Tiger. I thought that Matt was going to use the bullet casing to try to find out
What
who
happened?
killed White Tiger. Matt went right from White Tiger to the fiddle faddle nigga, and now he is taking. So I thought he was going to. No, he wasn't trying to find out nothing about White Tiger. He finds the Punisher, and we don't hear nothing else about it. I thought that White Tiger was gonna, the killing of White Tiger was gonna open the show up for us to investigate these cops and for them to become
Right.
one. And maybe it still will happen.
I think
But
it
they
will.
certainly took a break from that when the last show ends with the murder of another character that we are supposed to care about.
I think it will because they have that conversation once he's done talking to the fiddle faddle guy, and they have the conversation with the other cop, and he's like, "Yo, your homie, I know you killed my homie," and he's like, "No, I did it. My dad, my brothers, my cousins, this and that." And he hears heartbeat, and he's telling the truth.
He's telling the truth, yeah.
He's telling the truth. So he's like, "Oh, this guy had nothing to do with it." I think we'll get back to that at some point. But
I mean, if I'm being real, Matt ain't shit. First of all, you lost Hector. You should be a little bit more sad. He's shooting his shot with Miss Honeycakes. He's, going back, having sex with his girlfriend. I'm like, be a little bit more torn up. Be a little bit more depressed. Go to church.
You effectively got him killed, by the way.
We haven't seen Matt
your
go to
fault.
church one fucking time in his whole ass shit.
Well, he
What is
looked at the
going
church.
Yeah,
on?
he looked at the church,
he
thought
looked
about
at
it,
the
and he's like,
church, he
nope.
thought about it. Thought about
if you
it.
born again, to Van's point, if you born again,
find
like
Jesus.
I need you to put
7
on
months.
some water, have some wafers, bro.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Fiddle Faddle nigga made me feel like a Republican. I'm not on his side. I'm not like
He
I
was
get
pissing
it.
me off.
I know he wanted to just taste the sweet taste of the popcorn, but bro, you stole 4 boxes of the Fiddle Faddle. You gotta, and you
Matt-
already down. You gotta go sit your ass down.
Matt was like, bro, I got you 6 days in jail, man. She wanted
They were giving you
35.
30.
I got you 6. Just take the plea and go. He's like, nah, man. Probation. I'm like, brother, you just got a gift. Matt was like, what? 10 days was a heaven send. 6 days is a treasure, bro. Take it. He's like, nah.
Also, if I'm being real, if that's my nigga, I'm like, you got caught 10 times already. Sit your
10
ass
10
down.
times.
Like, sit
10
your ass
times?
down, bro. Like,
on, man.
I'm sorry. I don't want any of my men locked out, but he kind of seemed like he's a dumbass.
he got to
if I'm
learn
being
a
real.
lesson. He got
He
to learn
paid
a
for it
lesson.
last week. He played for the Fiddle Faddle last week. Not how it works, man.
Yeah,
It's definitely
That's
not how it
Also,
works.
if can we be real?
and he was an asshole. He
Well,
was
he was an
very
asshole.
entitled. He was. I'm telling you, Fiddle Faddle guy didn't make.
We sound like Trump voters.
I don't
That's where I
fucking
stop.
care,
I
bro.
stop stopping right now.
Bro,
Trump
Fiddle
voters.
Faddle
Kanye
guy.
just logged in and he's just like, I got him now.
Bro, Fiddle Faddle guy didn't meet the mark, bro. Fiddle Faddle guy was talking to Matt like Matt was his. He was an ableist. Fiddle
Oh,
Faddle
he
nigga
was
sucked.
ableist.
He was ableist. He was talking to me. He was talking down to Matt. He didn't have enough respect.
Here-
I'd have told him, bitch, do 45 in there. See if you get some Fiddle Faddle inside, nigga. What the fuck are you talking to?
It also
Wait,
just,
I have a question though. If there is a dessert, because I'm not going to jail. Like, if I gotta steal some shit, it gotta be top level dessert. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
What is the dessert where you
Ooh.
will actually be like, all right, I'll do 5 days in jail. Y'all caught me.
So let me tell you the reason why there's no dessert, okay? And it's because of my friend Isaac.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
all right. Well, make sure that this isn't.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah,
friend,
make sure you don't got an open case on it.
This is,
so shout out to my friend Isaac. I think I told this
I
story
hope this
before.
matter's settled.
I think I told this story before.
Okay.
So we used to play basketball, LA Fitness, Hollywood.
Okay.
Man, Isaac, great guy. Great dude, fantastic dude, man, great guy. One day Isaac hadn't been around in a while. And he comes up to me and he goes, I had to go to the Twin Towers for a little while. He had to go to the county. And let me tell you how great of a guy Isaac is. Isaac comes up to me, and he not no hoe, not no punk, far from it, the other side of it, right? But he wanted to let me know that he wasn't Mexican, but he was Latino. And while he was in there, he had to join the Mexican gang.
Oh,
And they had to do actions or be in fights against the black guys. And Isaac wanted to come over to me and talk to me about it because he wanted to let me know that he had no choice. Once I realized that when you go to jail in LA, you immediately have to join the gang that same day, I got my license fixed. You know what I mean? Like I went and took care of all of my stuff. I swear to God, bro, I don't wanna join the set. That's for Big Cove Lindbergh.
That's a
Yeah,
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh's
I don't
got
want to
that,
join the set.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I had to, when I got down, I had to check in with Lindbergh. He like, hey, yo, it took you a little long. Like,
Big Cove
You
Lindbergh.
gotta go to Cookland.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to. There's no dessert that I can think about that is worth.
A Monday through Friday?
Nah,
You
I
can't
don't
do a
want to
5-day
go.
bid?
I don't want to go, bruh. Because I don't know how people feel about me in there. Maybe I've talked, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to jail.
what if it's reversed? You get out and then you get that dessert infinitely for the rest
What
of
you
your life.
mean?
So like if you do a 5-day bid, then from then on you can just get whatever dessert you want anytime
Yeah.
you want.
Y'all haven't seen Felice Johnson. Y'all don't know who that is. Y'all go look up Felice Johnson and tell me if you want to go do some time in jail over some
I've seen some
motherfucking
TikToks of people in jail.
over some motherfucking fiddle faddle. I'm not going. Chuck, what do you want to go and join the gang for and have to shank people and do 1,000 push-ups and do all that dumbass shit?
all right. You know my light-skinned ass ain't lasting in fucking prison, bro. They like, dog, he's like, no. Now that you said it, I'm not lasting.
You too pretty for jail?
Oh, hell yeah.
I think
Hell
it is.
yeah.
Who at the Ringer would run the yard?
Sales.
Rosillo.
Rosillo got that.
Oh.
Rosillo.
Rosillo and Sales. But Rosillo would definitely run the yard.
Rosillo's
Oh,
right
yo,
there.
Justin Sales? Justin
Sales.
Sales, dude, got
I
that.
think-
Like,
I think
Justin is gonna be the person. He's like, oh, what you need? You need 6?
Yeah.
You know, you need some ramen
Yeah,
packs.
he's the connect.
Justin's the connect.
Connect.
But Russillo is essentially the dude from Shot Caller. Russillo will be in there. Ryan yoked.
Nah, he big
Yeah, that's
boss.
what I'm saying.
He been a
Ryan-
dude. He been a dude. We got the generals around the table. Fresh meat come in. You're like, hey.
Ryan out there analyzing the basketball games while
I was gonna
people are
say,
playing.
like,
He's analyzing the sports. He's like,
Honestly, also, low key, if it's not Russillo, Amanda Dobbins, she from Atlanta, she don't play. Like, I feel like she,
movie mom?
you know, she was in.
You
I would
think
not
movie-
want to mess.
You think movie mom got it like that? She does. She did tell me about Lenox Mall. She was
Yeah,
going to hang out
if
at
you
Lenox
survive
Mall.
Lenox Mall, I feel like you could survive a 5-day bid. You know?
yeah.
For some reason, last person. These are the 3. For some reason, I feel like CR will hold it down.
I mean, everybody's gonna love CR.
I feel like
Everybody's gonna love
He's
CR.
he's running game night.
Yeah.
for sure.
Wait. But you want to know what I'd be afraid of for CR? I feel like he would be so beloved by the whites. There would just be like a Mexican homie or a black homie being like, I'm sorry, CR. You
I think he
Nah,
can turn
nah,
him
he
around. He can turn him
transcends.
around.
I mean,
I think
He
CR.
I think
He
CR
cuts through race.
transcends race, man.
I
He
think
cuts
he
through
can make
race.
Yeah.
peace, bruh.
Yeah.
I think
think?
I think
He would
CR
go in there and bring
Yeah.
everybody together, bro. Dwayne Jenkins, come on, man. Like it's light work.
He does
Oh
what he
yeah,
needs,
once he do the way. But here's also the problem. You know how when like a nigga can sing in jail, everybody wants him to start doing the R. Kelly. Just like you think they're gonna make CR do Wayne Jenkins like every 5 minutes? They're like, yo, do Wayne Jenkins.
You gotta survive.
CR,
You gotta
you
survive.
better. I tell you, you better do Wayne Jenkins, nigga. Or Wayne Jenkins might do you. All right,
that's
you
enough.
okay, you
Speaking
better.
of Wayne, speaking of Wayne Jenkins, I think we've talked enough about everything leading up to it. Van, how did you feel about Matt, Frank being reunited? That was obviously, I feel like, something that they've probably been waiting to lead up to.
Yeah.
In terms of their conversation, almost felt like what thematically the show is about.
Yeah.
Which is why vigilantes are important, the system being broken in the MCU, obviously, whatever. How did you feel like they landed that plane?
So the scene was exemplary to me of just how well these guys have a handle on these 2 characters. When you were watching John Barenthal and Charlie Gibson, is that his name?
No,
Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Oh, okay.
Wait, where'd you get Charlie
Gibson.
Where did you get Charlie Gibson?
Who is Charlie Gibson? Charlie Gibson is an American broadcaster, but
Charlie
none of-
Gibson? Where did I get that from?
I don't know.
Kirk Gibson?
Kirk Gibson?
Go Dodgers.
Dodger legend.
88. Charlie Cox, when you're watching them, you're watching Daredevil and Punisher talk from the pages of a comic book.
Yes.
The vulnerability, the anguish, Charlie Cox has a complete hold on that, complete hold on the character. The aggressive anguish, the desperation of the Punisher, the single-minded focus of the Punisher, the sureness of the Punisher, there's no ambiguity to him. He knows exactly how he needs to change the world, and he has made his peace with the demon that he's become. Watching that, and on the other side of it, watching all of the ambiguity that Matt has inside of him, it just completely worked. The scene was a little bit of a surprise. Like, came out of nowhere a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if the scene was set up, right? But that scene and that moment worked perfectly for me. What about you guys?
Wait, so that would be my question. When Matt sees the skull on the bullet, like
Sees?
not sees, but feels it, senses it,
What?
which I was
Right.
also like, how do you know that this is like the Punisher symbol, whatever? How the fuck does he get there? Like, how does he get to Frank Castle's place?
He has to know where he's been. Like, he's got to be keeping tabs on him in some way, because you don't go through like a secret gate, a courtyard, an elevator, and then like a long hallway. Which, by the way, was he like a super or something? It said manager's office in the door that he walked in. Like, I don't know what he's
Frank
doing.
was surprised. It was
Yeah.
like he hadn't seen Matt in a while. So I'm like, was Matt just like, to your point, just keeping tabs on the homie and just
Nah,
being
I don't think Frank was surprised, because he tried to sneak up on Matt. Matt was like, "I know you're here. I can sense you."
Right.
I think, to Steve's point, he probably had some idea of where Frank was the entire time, and just now it's like, all right, I got to go roll up. I assume, I mean, the bullet seemed marked with the skull, so I'm sure there was like you could feel the difference.
Yeah.
In the casing, and so it's like this reminds me of Frank's skull. Got to go see Frank, see if he knows.
But also
anything.
on some CSI shit, I was like, that whole scene was bullshit. Where it's like
I kind of liked it.
I loved it.
He kicks the like glass and he like goes to the gutter and he's like, now I found the casing. I'm like, come on, man.
It's prom. It's like prom psych Sean Spencer.
Yeah,
like just like seeing things.
Some Batman type shit.
Yeah, it's cool. I
thought
didn't
it would lead to the finding of White Tiger's killer, which they don't fucking.
A lot of game left.
I feel like he dropped it off on Frank's door. He was basically like, "Hey, yo, Frank, it's your problem now."
Yeah,
and I feel like Frank was like, "Hey, buddy, that's your man. Like,
y'all
go save your man."
Do y'all think that Daddy Yankee performed? White Tiger's
Stop.
What's wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
No, be for real. No, let's.
What?
You
really gotta chill with that, man.
What do you mean?
What? Why?
Wait. Because
Why?
White Tiger.
Nah, bro, we
Because
can't.
We
Wait,
not
wait,
co-signing
no.
this. What?
No.
Because White Tiger is a. Hold on for a second. First of all, White Tiger is a pillow in the Boricua community, in the Puerto Rican community. Do you think
A pillar?
a pillar? I apologize. A pillow.
A pillow is crazy.
So he's a pillar.
A pillow because they be laying on him. That's crazy.
He's a
That's-
pillar. So he's a pillar.
They be sleeping on him. That's why.
He's
That's
a pillar in the Puerto Rican community.
He
so
got fighting skills like a pillow.
So I'm wondering if Nina Sky and
Stop, dude.
and Mr. 305 Pittsburgh, and Jennifer Lopez, like who showed up? And
Jenny from the block showing up is crazy.
But see, that's a scene they should have had in there.
And then still nobody knew her.
They should have had the funeral, and then all of a sudden it should have been like, gasoline.
I'm being very clear.
Yo, can I
Vance,
pitch you guys
we do
on?
not
Can I pitch you
endorse.
guys
We
on
do not
something?
endorse his takes.
Yo, what if because he was like a hero? What if J-Lo shows up to the funeral and she turns to Bay, and it's the OG Daredevil, Ben Affleck? Come on.
See, multiverse, bitch. Like that works. He's at the thing, and all of a sudden he doesn't know. He's hearing, and then Charlie Cox is like, "Oh my god," and then he's like, "Oh," and then that Daredevil it off.
That is a nitpick.
It's a Daredevil, a Mickey 17.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, this is the shit because y'all are drunk with power.
Right.
Yep.
So
I sense it.
because you guys are drunk with power, you no longer have the ability to think outside the box.
Of course.
Right.
All right?
Great on woke.
So what we're talking about right now, I'm back on woke.
Oh, you're back on woke.
I'm back on
What
woke.
brought you to back
Wait,
on woke?
also, can I just say, because I can
Kanye?
see you guys
Yeah.
on the screen, it is a little, you know how I can tell the Mint Boys are drunk with power? Jomi is so far away from fucking Van. Like, it's crazy.
This is
Like,
the
right
space
cozied
you leave
up.
without us, Chuck. This is the hole that you leave.
Drunk with power.
No. Jomi could have been in the middle.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He could have been like a friend. But Mint Boys get one Jack Quaid interview, and all of a sudden,
So it's not one Jack Quaid interview. We also talked to Stephen Young, Gillian Jacobs.
Drunk with power.
JK.
drunk with
J.K.
fucking
Simmons.
power.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I could rant on y'all little power parade right now
You could.
by talking about how many people are pissed off that the Midnight Boys aren't covering Invincible.
And whose fault is that?
Well, I mean, it's not my fault. It's his fault.
Well, we covered it.
Like,
Wait, how's it my fault?
it's not my fault. It's his fault. It's your fault.
Whoa.
They have been.
Charles's
Let's go
job
back.
is
Let's go
to
back.
Charles's job is to
Hey, we're
watch
feeding the streets out here, all right?
the
To
fewest amount of shows.
to his credit, they was on your Twitter like, "Hey man,
Where's Invincible?
where's Invincible?" It's like, "Yo, Mint Boys covering it." They're like, "Actually, we don't want the F team on it."
Yeah,
Only
just
one
lock
person
in.
said that. That's bullshit.
That was good.
Don't give no. That's bullshit. That he said that. But like only one person said that. It's the coverage is fucking fine. I'm joking. But only,
course,
only one person said that. Like people have not been saying that. They just wonder. They're blaming Chuck.
Wait, why are they blaming me?
They're blaming Chuck.
It's your fault.
Everybody pointed Chuck as for the reason as to why we didn't cover Invincible. Chuck, do you feel in a way? Do you feel a way?
I'm about to crash out. Like homegirl on the Breakfast Club. Why you guys are not defending me? They all already talking on me.
Anyway, man,
By the way, I did defend you. I defended you a couple of days
he
ago.
did.
What
I
did you
saw
do?
that.
Somebody tried to
I
come
did
in my
see that.
guy.
Thank you.
Like I did defend you.
That was nasty work. Now we stand together. Now the Mad Furniture scene, like he mentioned, we do.
right.
We love each other. What's wrong with that? What's so funny?
Check the callback logs.
Nah.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
No, that scene is the crux of the episode, and I think the thing that made it like all the more special was the fact that we hadn't seen like John. I think it was on Tuesday when the episode aired. That was like the 9th anniversary of John Bernthal making his debut as the Punisher in Daredevil season 2. So it's like a whole full circle moment, and like we've all said it, he's just got a complete hold on the character, and so him and Matt interacting, like that just emotional gut punch of talking about hearing his son every time he goes outside. Great. It was just magic, and that's what the show. That's when you see that scene over, and then you think about the rest of the episode, you're like, dang, man, if we just that's it. That's the magic.
That's the slight problem that I could ever have with the scene. Like, to me, it's a 9 out of 10 for how well acted and well executed the emotion of it. But as far as what each character is kind of there to do for each other to advance this plot, I feel like it kind of fell short because, again, we're kind of here to actually figure out who killed Hector and investigating the cops that are taking up the Punisher's name to do all these things and making this weird cult. And that's not...
Wait, so can I ask you guys, have you guys saw the quote from Bernthal on Entertainment Weekly?
Yeah.
When he was like, ultimately, I didn't see it. I didn't see the version of Frank and what they wanted from Frank really making sense to me. And I thought I would not appeal to the fans and want to be congruent. It was not something I was really interested in doing. So we had to walk away. My question, does this episode feel like it shoehorned in that Punisher moment because they had to basically do reshoots? So we didn't get a bunch of like lead up. It was basically like, yo, we got Bernthal. We have to basically
you're right.
make it work.
But once again, they are banking on the fact that all the momentum from the last series is carrying over.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're like, we don't have to like do any of the stuff where we introduce the Punisher or anything like that. It's like we can pop him back up and you guys remember, and it's the same thing. And it's not that doesn't make any sense. It's that they would think that. It's just that it's not 100% working that way. You guys, people are going to talk about the fact that we're, nitpicking and maybe pulling the show apart. The show is good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I wouldn't be keeping it real on here if I didn't say, hey, I looked at the show kind of like, all right. Like some of the cues that I'm like supposed to be invested into, maybe I'm not quite that invested into. And the show is fucking missing Foggy and Karen. It's a family show.
Is it missing Foggy and Karen more than it's missing Daredevil?
It's missing Foggy, Karen, and Daredevil. And Turk or Wendell.
Yeah, which Turk?
Right.
Wait, so that's my question is, do you guys, why do you think we're seeing so little of Daredevil? Not from a story perspective. Were they trying to save money? Or are they trying to...
They're trying to tell a different story.
They're trying to tell a different story. Remember,
Yeah.
like, they watched the first 6 episodes. There was no Daredevil in it. Remember, it was like a procedural, the whole thing. And so there's probably not a ton of Daredevil footage, frankly. Right? And so I guess, we're 4 episodes in. Hopefully we get some on the back half. But remember, there was basically none outside of that first scene, really. So...
But here's the thing, even if I'm at the upper echelons of MCU, my first question would be, we haven't seen Daredevil in the classic suit in forever.
Yeah.
Why do you think you could go 6, 7, 8 episodes banking on the fact that people are just like, yeah, I'm here for the ride? I almost think their appetite to see Daredevil fight, like, perfect example, Bullseye. Was it smart to dispatch a Bullseye within the first 15 minutes of the season? After we've been waiting so long?
I would say yes, only because the fact that was clearly added after the fact, and knowing that the things that they were trying to do with this first version of the story that they were telling either wasn't working or was unanimously like the actors involved or the people involved were like, we can't go this long or we can't start this without any sort of backlog of what it is. So I liked for the like dramatic like push that scene gave. I liked that. I don't think that it's clear that now that this is kind of just like the shoved in book end for what they're trying to do with this story going forward, rather than kind of like picking up this story whole cloth. I still don't know if it entirely works with the stitching that they're making it, but they are just cashing in on a lot of very, very well invested goodwill that we've had for those first 3 seasons to kind of push us forward to the story that they want to tell. And
Which I think that kind of begins now.
yeah,
It kind of starts now. What do you think, Chuck? I think this episode is, if you're looking at 3 episode tranches, this is the first episode of the second part of it, since it's 9, right? It's 9, 9, and 9. So I think they're kind of starting now. And probably the show will be, hopefully, the show will have a little bit more stakes and a little deeper kinetic energy moving forward, you know?
I mean, to your guys' point, like, I did not hate this episode. There were moments where I was really entertained. Like, I was just like, I see the potential, and I see how this could have been a lot worse. So I was just like, the episode was good. I think what maybe we're bumping on is that I see the version of this that was great.
Right.
And there's so much greatness in there that I think just the other stuff kind of, weighs it down a little.
Kerm, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you beatbox?
Right now?
Yeah, you know how to do it?
Well,
Little dance break, guys. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, midnight boys.
Midnight boys.
It's the midnight boys.
We the midnight boys.
It's the midnight boys.
We the midnight
It's
boys.
the midnight boys.
We the midnight boys.
Daredevil in this bitch, and it's time for danger. That's it. That's a little
Okay,
dance
yeah,
break.
that's good. Nice.
Little dance break. Little dance break.
little vibe reset.
Like, we're gonna like just reset the vibe. You know, we talking about it. Chuck in New York. Chuck, you living it up? You feeling yourself back in your home?
Yo, shout out. I met a private investigator last night. You know,
What?
that was great.
Oh, are we gonna talk about? Hey, listen, that's crazy. Actually,
What?
What?
you want to get
I
into
met
it?
a private investor. Did they meet you? Did you have to answer questions?
Whoa! Shout out my man Patrick Hoffman. You know what I'm saying? Crime novelist, got a new book out. He's a private investigator. He was telling me about having captured this guy. You know what I mean?
Excuse you?
I don't know
What?
if I actually beeped that out.
No,
that was the name
no.
of the man. But he was like breaking down how he has to like search for people and shit. You know how much is like too little for snitches. All this shit.
wow.
My man has a new book out. Patrick Hoffman, go cop that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he was great.
I'm
And
with
also
it.
woke up at 8 a.m. to watch some Freaky Zeke interview videos. I'm like New York to the core.
Freaky Zeke. Shout out to the Dipset. The Dipset, just to be honest with you, the true life, they could have also been
Oh God!
at White Tiger's funeral. White Tiger
Dipset
got
could have been at Joel Santana up.
Joel
you know what I
Santana.
mean?
This could have brought Cam and Jim back together. You guys don't understand. Maybe they'll do it next episode.
Okay, well that'll
White
probably be
Tiger
the most
is.
forward
I
momentum.
watched a Variant Comics video. Shout out to Variant Comics, by the way. I got new YouTubes. Shout out to Variant Comics. Shout out to Rennie's Holocron
Okay.
and some of the lore videos that they've been doing. That guy's great because he puts the lore videos and then he puts this like really soothing music on behind them. I learned
Like
all
lo-fi?
about I learned all about Star Killer. Whatever. I don't care.
Oh, I
that
love
you
Star
guys,
Killer.
Jomi, I don't give a fuck. You can't get on me about the lore videos, Jomi.
The lore videos are the problem.
I
What's
love
the
YouTube
problem?
niches. I love those.
The lore
They're great.
videos are crazy, but really quick, going back to the Diplomats, if we were, what rap
moved
group would
on.
we be in the Ringer?
Huh?
What rap group? Because we'd probably be the Diplomats in the Ringer, always
Can't
arguing.
be the Dipset.
Like what's
Maybe
like
Wu-Tang?
what's big picture? Who's Bill?
Okay, so Bill would be Jay-Z,
Okay.
right? Big Pick would be like Outkast.
Okay.
Outkast?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I can see that. I can see
Wait,
that.
then House of R. Who's House? Ooh.
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
no.
No.
They the City Girls.
The House of R is not the City Girls.
House of R, the City Girls.
House of
Hell
R is
no,
not the
bro.
City Girls, man. Come on.
No.
No.
Hell no.
House of R, the City Girls.
No, man.
Okay.
Don't do that.
We gotta.
I feel like no. Actually, we might be more Wu-Tang because we
Probably
got so
Wu-Tang.
many.
We
fucking
probably
members,
will.
We need 20 more members though.
bro. Wait, who's Steve then?
probably
in the
you,
Wu-Tang
dog.
Clan, who's
probably you got.
You got.
nah, Steve's not you, bro.
Can I tell y'all something? And let me just say this real quick.
God.
Because I'm from that era. Niggas diss you got You God is an amazing rapper. You God is an amazing rapper.
He is. But
You God is fantastic.
By the time they got to You God, it was like
they had a lot of niggas.
There's a lot of niggas.
They had a lot of niggas. So by the time, but You God put out a book. The book was great. You God's a great rapper, man. People hate
Aleya probably out RZA.
Yeah, Aleya's definitely RZA. Drunk with Power.
Like Lindbergh Suge Knight.
Like drunk with Power, the whole nine. Aleya's definitely out RZA.
Let that slide.
Wait, then who are you?
All right.
Who am I?
Yeah, you let that slide. All right.
Either Ghostface or Method Man. Or you would probably be Raekwon.
He's definitely Raekwon.
I'm Raekwon?
Yeah, you're Raekwon. Yeah.
Definitely Raekwon.
Either Ghostface or Method Man. I don't really have the pecs to be Method Man. I got titties, so
that's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, can't really be. I don't think we have a Method Man, you know? But I'm probably Ghostface, Pretty Tony.
Wait, then who's Jomi?
Tony Stark. Jomi, Gizza. He's the explainer. Perpendicular to the square.
Ooh,
Boy, shout out to we listened to Wu-Tang, and he said like perpendicular to the square, and then Jabril would stop it, and he would be like, "Do you know what that means?" I would be like, "Bruh, shut the fuck up, bro."
Do you know what that means?
Bro, I'd be like, "Bruh, shut the fuck up."
Trying to explain geometry.
Like, you can't be. Do you understand what he's trying to say? Like, because a lot of y'all niggas, my boy Jabril moved away, and then he came back and started explaining rap lyrics to all of us in Louisiana like we were fucking stupid.
Well, dude, he moved to Oakland?
He moved to Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came back and he tried to explain rap lyrics to us.
West Coast rap different.
Yeah,
He
he's coming back explaining rap lyrics, putting Razzcast on and like putting Common on even back then.
He's putting Common on?
The early Common. The early Common. See, y'all niggas know Common from Kanye on. I'm talking about
sense.
No. I know Common.
Sense. And he putting on the early Common like, yo, pause. Can y'all niggas get into this? Or is it all about back that ass up? I'm like, bro, if you don't get your dumb ass out, you scaring these fucking girls. They about to, like, bro, we ain't trying to listen to that shit right now, bro. We'll listen to that shit later.
He's turning the No Limit off, be like, yo,
Bro,
you heard that MF Doom? I'm
bro,
like,
this nigga turned off fucking BG and all of it. That's the shit we listen to. We listen to that motherfucking 504. No, the True. We listen to bounce that ass. That's what we trying to hear. Freak hoes. Gotta make your knees touch your elbows. Come in. Stop. Hold on. Hey, bro. Let's put on that Razzcast Soul on Ice. If you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, nigga. If you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. You know? But look, we listen to all of that music, bro. We listen to all of that music.
Oh my God.
But
There's a time and a
Razzcast
place.
is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
All of the music Jabril was putting us on, fucking amazing. We listen to it all the time.
Time and a place, though.
Because I sound like Drake right now. We listen to all of that music, but like when we all over there and we chilling, and you know, we got some Arch Deluxes from McDonald's and all of that shit, we sound chill. Nigga, we ain't trying to hear that motherfucking, that shit, bruh. But anyway, that's
there's always one in the crew, especially when I was in college. I'm like, bruh, we all love To Pimp a Butterfly. Don't put that shit on.
See, I wasn't going to say nothing.
Don't trust anybody with the
like,
hey, To Pimp a Butterfly is amazing. But, like,
you can't play that, bro.
It's like, you don't, okay, so look, bruh, To Pimp a Butterfly is amazing.
Yes, yes.
But, like, you know, you can't run on the treadmill to how much $1 costs. It's just not the right. You know what I'm saying?
You can't have the beat stop and be like, I remember you were conflicted.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that.
I like Steve.
Yeah, be careful.
I like Steve. That's crazy, bro.
So, but it's different music. That's what I'm saying. When everybody talking about this stuff, it's different music for different stuff. Kendrick got plenty of songs that you can do that to, but To Pimp a Butterfly had a different album. You know, if you had a cool kickback and everybody just chilling, and everybody talking and we sharing information and we doing all that stuff, man, put on that To Pimp a Butterfly. It's a brilliant hip-hop album, right? I prefer Good Kid, Mad City.
Who doesn't?
But a Rolling Stone. But put on to Pimp a Butterfly. But like, if it's time to like, then it's like, dun, dun, I need a hot girl. Bounce on the top when I'm taking a bit. Break it down, take it down. The me and the friend. Bigger bounce, slide, ride, work that thing to the right. That's what we putting on. You know? Man,
I locked up.
Nigga tried to explain. He pissed me off trying to explain Jizza to me. Nigga, I know what it means. Like silverback orangutans. Pause. Do you know what he's saying? Silverback orangutans? There's no such thing. Shut the fuck up!
Crazy.
But here's the thing. You saw, they didn't have Rap Genius back then. He was your Rap G's.
Yeah. They did. We had to go on the internet to figure out what cannabis was trying to say. Like,
Not cannabis.
we had to go on the
cannabis.
internet. We had to go on the message boards to figure out what these niggas was trying to say. Chino XL, rest in peace. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that. By the way, I know that was Bombs Over Baghdad and not Wu-Tang. So y'all go, that's not Wu-Tang. Whatever. Niggas try to explain. I'm not dumb.
Of course not.
Seems like you don't believe that, Jomi. Hurtful. All right. That's enough. No more podcasts, bro.
Wait, hold on.
What?
We got to talk about Daniel Blake and Fisk, man. Daniel Blake sold. Well, so we're I think the big thing in the episode was Fisk reaffirming his respect in Daniel Blake. He made a mistake and how much Daniel Blake believes in Fisk. But I don't think that's the most important thing that happened with Daniel Blake in this episode. I think what we really need to talk about, aside from, the Latvian, or everybody singing We Built This City in English and in Latvian, which I thought was interesting.
That's funny.
Daniel Blake, you need to lock in. Not about Fisk and the port. Not about
BB
leaking. Brother.
About BB.
You got this beautiful woman. Yo, let's get some drinks. Yo, let's go out to eat. Man, let's hang out. Maybe.
She a user.
Wait, I thought, BB's not a lesbian? Or bi?
Is she?
Is she?
I thought that wasn't her girl?
At what point?
Who? Oh, was BB? Was
I
that
thought it was
BB's
her friend.
girl?
I thought it was her homegirl.
Oh, it's her homegirl.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I was lit
Hard to
watching it
tell.
last
Hard to
night.
tell
I
these
fell
days.
asleep.
God
So
damn it,
I don't know.
Irregardless, beautiful black woman is like, hey, take a couple drinks, let's hang out. Let's go get some food. And you like, I got work in the morning?
Jomi, shut up.
What happened to Shane?
Jomi,
You
what
had a
happened to
girl
Pride?
over
Nah.
and you put on fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And guess what? I
which
learned
is-
from that experience.
Which is like a D for Cheesiac, a D aphrodisiac.
But you gotta understand.
Like you,
Wait,
It's
what
called-
what are the TV shows that are an anti-aphrodisiac where you put it on and be like,
bruh,
damn.
adolescence. Oh my God, bruh.
Adolescence,
People
yeah,
talk about
man.
Bruh, I watched
Adolescence makes this look like Power Rangers.
Bruh, I wanted to go adopt some children. I want to teach young men the right way. Adolescence fucking destroyed me.
I'm not locked in.
Yeah.
People keep saying it's really sad.
Honestly, you gotta tell our friend of the pod, Anthony Mackie, to raise these men right. He's trying to tell us.
God.
He's doing a good job.
That adolescent shit wouldn't happen with him.
See how you brought him up out of nowhere?
What? They go, what? I'm saying.
See how you brought
they
him up out of
attacking
nowhere?
him. I'm just saying. Adolescence wouldn't happen.
What he said was completely okay, except for some of it. But like, except for see how you attacked him out of nowhere? It's a beef.
Wait, that wasn't me attacking him.
Nah, you're right.
That wasn't an attack.
Attack.
We
But
need more
adolescence
fathers.
was crazy, and that's one of them that's a D.
Such a good show.
What's a show that you would put on if you have a young lady over? Like if BB and what's his name, Dylan?
Daniel.
Daniel is if BB and Daniel are trying to, if Daniel's like, Netflix and chill. If you coming over there and it's a show that you're putting on to try to establish
Set the mood?
Not even set the mood, but just a cool show.
So there's a difference between like a
could-
Netflix and chill show or like something to set it off.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to
Because like New Girl, that's Netflix and chill.
Well, Netflix and chill is sex.
Yes, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's
the order of operations.
I know,
okay,
but what I'm saying
but
is
it's twofold,
something you
right?
could ignore.
Right.
It's twofold because if you know what the deal is, you can put on anything, right? If you already know what the vibe is, and you can put on anything.
Myth boys, you dirty
nasty,
ass motherfuckers, bro.
You so
We're
nasty.
Horny, dirty.
We're wholesome. I don't know what you're
Right,
talking
I don't know
about.
what you mean.
I think New Girl. I think Gossip Girl, Gilmore Girls.
Right.
Pretty much.
I'm telling y'all something. Don't hate on cult documentaries.
Cult
You know what? You could be
documentaries?
right.
Oh,
You could be right.
Oh,
So-
Cosmos.
Don't hate on cult documentaries because the cult documentaries are
Mm.
always like they invoke a lot of.
You just got to make sure that it's not too much of a bummer.
Yeah, don't want it to be too much of a bummer, but there's always like a sexual component to it. Cult
That's the-
documentaries.
In college, we had you would turn the lights off. We had these Christmas lights that we hung up all year. So we turned the lights off, put the Christmas lights on, put on Cosmos.
Talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Do you also like put like those little glow in the dark stars on your ceiling?
Right.
Not in the living room.
That's your move, Jomi?
That was the move when I was 18.
Honestly, I'm sorry, Jomi. That's nasty.
When I was 18,
Neil deGrasse
when I was
Tyson ain't
18,
getting
I
me
was-
turned on, nigga.
Oh.
God,
Cosmos.
this is
Oh.
crazy.
Hey girl.
In 2014?
Hey girl.
Oh,
Hey. Want to learn about black holes? Because I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to see what's up.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I got a quasar for you, bitch.
We got this
let's
Milky
go.
Way.
Batting average was crazy. I was Shohei Ohtani in that thing, bro.
I bet you were in that thing.
It was
In
working.
that-
What?
It worked.
Aleya is here. You guys, it's so disrespectful. This whole thing. Aleya drunk with power. She's going to HR. All right.
It's Women's History Month, by the way.
Absolutely.
And
Hey,
you guys
hold
are
on for a
ruining
second.
all
it
the
for me.
ladies.
Hold on for a second. Speaking of that, Aleya, first of all, just let me say.
Why do you have your hands up like you got caught doing something, man?
Aleya,
Now
first
let
of
me
all,
be clear.
just let me say. Happy International Women's
Let him be the first.
Elite reference.
Let me say, boy, that's the funniest Braun clip ever.
It's got to be
Ever.
like, it's top 2.
Ever.
It's top
It's just
2.
funny because Jeannie and who was the other lady?
They would think it was Linda Rambis.
So Jeannie and
Now let me say.
Why did he do that?
why did he do that? First of all, let me just say, Braun crazy, bro. Bro, I love LeBron James. LeBron James gives you so much
Do
content.
you love LeBron enough to make a song about him?
Play it. Well, we can't play it no more.
We can't play.
Can't play it no more.
No.
We gotta go. We just bullshit.
We just
now.
at this point.
We are
Oh, that's a
bullshitting.
wrap.
Good show.
This week on the Ringerverse feed, Thursday, House of R, Daredevil Born Again. On Friday, Midnight Edition taps in with Harley Quinn and Looney Tunes.
That's
On Monday, Midnight Boys are back talking Severance. Our producers are Aleya, SOB Zenieris, Jonathan, the poet, Kermah, Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran, hashtag Afro Cheesiac Jomi.
Hell yeah. Good one.
Yeah,
Good
because
one.
I'm African. That's good.
No, because you're cheesy.
That's good. Oh,
Yeah, Afro,
okay.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it because I
Nigerian.
spelled it that way?
No.
No.
Afro Cheesiac. Okay.
Afro cheesy. Okay.
That's the type of shit that happens. Just so you know, on social. Additional production by Arjuna Ramgopal. Chuck, take it away.
Aleya's drunk with power. Kerm got the bars. And if you end up at Shawshank, CR runs the yard.
I was going to do all
Wait,
that,
wait,
but
Wait, what happened?
Real quick, is there any way I could shut off? I could hear everything Aleya and them are saying. Y'all talk mad shit back there.
Wow.
God damn, bro.
Oh, that's
y'all
some
be talking
insight.
shit
What
the
they-
I
whole
didn't know
time
this.
we
What
in
were
here?
they saying?
What did they say, Chuck?
I don't know.
Lead us in
Here's
the
the thing.
pod.
I really couldn't make it out. All I know was super spicy. They don't like Jomi back there.
They said what?
They don't like Jomi back there.
What we said is, why is he so quiet every time we start the show, but he's so much louder before we start it? So we got to adjust his levels. Anyway, I will unplug this
Drunk
so
with
that
power.
you can't hear.
I'm telling you guys, drunk with
I
power.
love that.
Drunk with power, bruh. Well, yeah, drunk with power. That's gonna bring. I'm gonna bring that for Midnight Munchies. I'm gonna bring Aleya some Hennessy with power in it.
Oh, so she could really cut
She
loose?
really be drunk with power.